The wolf is going to Jamaica. Amarok to Jamaica? Uh, uh, I managed a Jamaican national team player in Football Manager once. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Oh, soon I'll be turned Jamaican magically. I see. Well, all right then. There could be worse. There could be worse fates. Right. Welcome home, folks. Welcome home. We are here for a weekend tournament European starting in about 25 minutes, which gives me time to play a match. I'm actually not feeling a. You're playing your first weekend tournament in like a month. I'm not even feeling it right now. I'm just gonna skip and play a casual game real quick. Mostly because we're just building audience and all that. Have you been playing much over the last month? Because I have been so off right now. And man, like the stupid COVID and the brain fog is just incredible. Yeah, you haven't been playing much. Like, I wind up feeling like I get into these games and I'm just kind of on autopilot. Thinking, what's that? I don't have to think. It'll be fine. You were in Rome for a week. Nice. Nice, nice. Uh, is that a family trip or a school trip? Is a school trip? Cool. It's really basically a week long bender. They don't check IDs there. So you took full advantage. Fair. Fair enough. Oh, goodness. All right. What are we doing here? All right. Opponent coming hard on my weakest side. Suppose I probably could have done the steel balls vertical, but that's all right. Well, that hasn't gone great for opponent yet. I assume we're in a throw down a wraith build over there. We'll redo this to there. let them come in under this guy, I think. Um, assuming kind of a wraith. I guess it has to be back here, doesn't it? I kind of want my own wraith. Let's try that. Yep, there's the wraith. We knew it was coming. And opponent is just going to go completely to the outside. Fine. And round for us. We knew the wraith was coming, so we played around it. Opponent has nothing back here, so we'll hit it. And I don't really want to deal with a wasp backside. Really don't. Right, there are the wasps. Shockings. Wasps do get into a lot of trouble, but the wasps are gone. His wasps are gone. Our wasps are getting the job done. We will have a brief interlude. Here, you thought I finally escaped from Mechabellum. No, I was just sick for a while, man. That's all. He's still got 2 wasps left. And that will get him the round win on Wraith. Alright. Hmm. 15 minutes till tourney. Reg should be open. And I have hidden that on the side. Nope. Not found. What's happening with our wasps here? Don't I know standard is dead? Is that the case? Back for more Hello Hackmanic. Yes, we've got a tourney in just a few minutes. Oh. Now, 8-gun? I think 8-gun. And speed again. You honestly think the game as it is gives you a giant handicap? I can't think of a single case where it gives you the edge. I mean, alright. Yeah, he took range. And armor, I see. Right, we are motoring through whatever he's got left. Oh, that sucked. Well, 12 minutes to go till tourney. And, getting these fellows out and about, I think. Are we going to try to range anything right now? Looks like no. Looks like we're not getting to range things right now. But we will be stopping a bunch of stuff in the main fight there. No sentry missile. Yay! Bad news, because you put blue on the end of my stream name instead of at the beginning. I was not counted for your 8 and 2 yesterday. No! No, that's awful. I'm sorry. Alright, they are marksmen with range. They have raced away from the acid. That's fine. Taken a tower, taken down the, haha! Big victory for us. Hello, Kur. Hello, Dorgon. Good morning, good evening, whichever it is. See what we got here. Yep, he's throwing something down on the back. Sure. Oh, it's an abyss. All right, sir. Want to run abyss? That's fine. It's dark outside. It could be either. Fair. It is bright out here. I mean, California. Shocking. Wreckage recycling, huh? Oh, we lost it. Well, that's alright. At least your check command works. You're currently 10 and 4 with a 2-win streak. Nice. Oh, I was gonna buy you in just a minute anyways. Let those guys go out onto the sides. Where are we at in this game's, it's like only 5 minutes till this tourney, huh? Alright, he's sold out of it now that he saw the... Oh, he's gone to a siege double shot scorpion? Sure. Doesn't handle the wraiths at all. does seem pretty solid against the melters, though. Well, I mean, it seems to be working for him. All right. I'll try that. Yeah, all we need to do is more wasps. It's true. Now, if we get lucky, splash here plus the EMP allows the acid to land. That's part of why we spent so much on missiles this turn. That, and we want this game to end, so and it does, in fact, work out that way. This whole full army will be fighting from in the acid. He at the front desk of UPS explaining to them that this can better arrive to Amarok this time. Excellent! Although I was keeping it secret from chat as to what might be happening. And so, hello. Looks like our match starts now-ish, our tournament. Yeah, I'm gonna we're going to surrender. Your parcel shipped. Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for dropping by to let me know. We, of course, are here for a tournament, which will be in about well, I'm gonna start the a 2.5 minute ad now because you'll be back in time for the first match. Their tactic was completely successful. They just needed to waste some time. On the other hand, I was in a casual mode, so I wasn't risking MMR for it. Long time no see. Indeed. Hello, Park. Welcome in, man. How you doing? We are not planning to register for this. We are going to be casting. So, Apuchi, Lau, Mathis, Might, Andy, the favorites, ICAD, Play Archer, Narayan should be streaming usually. Reven, Sparty, the defending champ. Lots of good names in this one. If you're only casting, we could have played one more round. That's true. We could have probably played out one more round. But you know, I like to be here at the actual start for the call. Ladies and gentlemen, start your mechs. Shadoff against Skip to start things off. Andy against Dorgon. HD Susauer facing J Galt. Narayan facing Guess Who? Defending champ Sparty will be up against Sledgehamster. Ark against Dionys. That actually probably a pretty good match. Two very good players there. There's another pair of very good players. Yeah, let's pick a match here. Let's pick a match, shall we? Maybe we'll take Illuminati against Riv Ruskende as our round one match here. We'll put up a chat. Oh, you wanted to see Park? Park said no. Let me get you guys the get you guys a channel point prediction up here. Of course, if you are brand new to this channel, what's going on here is a open tournament. They are run under the... Hey, thank you for gigantifying an emote, Mortar Mike. Woohoo! Appreciate that. Alrighty, just wanted to pop in and say, hey, I'll be pop in while cooking this afternoon, headed out to grab some groceries. Enjoy. So, tournament is going to be either 6 or 7 rounds. That will it will terminate when there is only one unbeaten player. It's open to all. You can just click on that tournaments tab. It's right about here on your screen and register for it. Of course, you can't register now that it has started. As observers, we're going to be on a 90-second delay, so we can't be interfering with play. Illuminati, the German, near side in blue, will be playing a marksman specialist with Fang and Sledge. We have seen Illuminati run marksman, big marksman builds with range from standard. Baller was saying that he thinks standard is dead. We'll see if Illuminati thinks so. River Skende on the far side is going to be your 28th seed. 10th seed, I think. I think it was 10th seed against 28th. Is that right? What did I... No, 19th against 28th. So 19th seed against 28th seed. We've got an elite specialist. I've been loving elite specialist. I know. I think Rooster's been loving elite specialist as well. I know Apucci plays it pretty well. If you're down at 800 MMR, skip it for now. You don't want to. Elite specialist and cost control specialist are the two specialists who are uniquely different from the whole rest of the set of specialists in that they change the tempo of the play. They change the tempo of the game. They kind of change a lot of the things you need to do. So you probably want to find... You want to get good at the other 14 specialists or whatever there are on offer before you start trying to master those two. They're each kind of their own thing. And then once you commit to mastering them, just pick them every time they come up, no matter what the starting units are. And like, I'm just going to play elite until I get good at elite. I'm going to play cost control until I get good at cost control. And then you've got them in your toolkit of things you can do. But if you're just starting out, try to skip them because they're so different from the rest of the game. River came 24th last week in this tournament. Illuminati not apparently in it. And we are off for round one. River with an interesting play here, setting the Mustangs up on the line almost as chaff, it looks like. They're at the front line chaff with level 2 crawlers coming in behind. That's interesting because a level 1 Mustang pack destroyed gives out 400 experience, and a level 2 crawler pack, when destroyed, gives out 600 experience. So it's actually, they are actually cheaper in terms of the experience conceded. He's also making good use of the Void Eyes, and there are just 2 Fangs left working on that tower over there. They will go down to the Void Eyes quickly, and River Skende wins round 1. Always play cost control to confuse the other lobies. Gotcha. That's actually true. I mean, if you are at 800 MMR and you decide you want to master one of those, you will be playing a different tempo game than other players at your level. Um, it's just I recommend getting the basics down before you decide to master those. Smart Arclight, very interesting. Improved Saber. River goes for improved. He's already elite, so he'd be bringing those in at level 2. But this is one of the true improved cards. In that I think all the improved cards should decrease attack interval. And that this is one of the most powerful ones there is, because reducing the Saber's attack interval from 3.4 to 2.8 is a pretty dramatic increase in its DPS, and it's going to be right up on the line. I mean, that is insta-lockable by a melter, but, you know, if you're spending melters to counter my improved Sabers, I guess my improved Sabers cost 350, and your melters are going to cost 400, so it's a positive trade for River. Barely. Illuminati, that's brutal. Had a tower cheese with Stormcallers. Took the Storm Drop. Wait, no, didn't take a Storm Drop. Just skipped so that he could buy 2 Stormcallers. Puts one of them up on the line and goes ahead and takes an early tower. Kaboom. If you don't have any chaff of any sort in front of your tower, you are always going to be vulnerable to this play, because the 180 meter range from the Stormcaller, if that Stormcaller is right on the line, puts it straight in on the tower. Always good to know. Hello, Nader Tot. Welcome in. So always good to be watching out for that one. And in this case, so like sometimes if your opponent is entirely back, it doesn't help you much because a lot of the time is spent driving. But here we had Stormcaller on the line, takes the tower, and then that allowed this whole fight, because River is on the line here, it allowed this whole fight to just be in during the tower debuff. 9 seconds of tower debuff was just brutal there. Now River has decided he's got to respect that tower. He's taken the level 2 Fire Badger drop, puts the Fire Badgers right on the line where they'd be kind of in the face of that, and Illuminati has sold out of those, so River will be sending some Fire Badgers into defensive walls at 560 DPS. Those walls will go down pretty quickly, at 2 seconds per wall, I guess. Illuminati has gone for Scorching Charge, so if you damage but don't kill one of the Fire Badgers here, which is not going to happen, right, because the Sabers are going to one-shot them, but if something else manages to damage them without killing them, they will charge out and drop. Yeah, here you go. They blow up, they drop, there's the charge. They drop kind of their napalm on the ground. I always thought a Vulcan should have this, where if you kill a Vulcan, it just drops fire all over the ground. I always thought that would be kind of a neat... It would be the punishment, right? For you're running a giant and you're running this big giant full of gasoline, essentially, or rocket fuel, whatever it is you're using. And if it blows up in your own lines, it's painful. But here, the Illuminati using the flames to good effect. But River wins the round. So River's at 44.88, Illuminati down to 36.40. Round 4, I see a Rhino Assault for Illuminati, a Heavy Armor for River Iskende. Heavy Armor goes right on the Saber on the front line, and he's taken secondary armament. The secondary armament attack interval does not change with the improved Saber, but it's good use of it, right? Because it's 95 meters, the main gun's 95 meters. We've got things right in the way. Might as well hit them. And we're going to run a nice little mobile beacon to ensure that crawlers and Void Eyes don't run into the flames that these Fire Badgers are going to be leaving right here. 2 more Void Eyes for River. So it's a Void Eye... I'm not even sure how to describe this. Void Eye Saber Stang. He doesn't really have chaff clear, but it'll be 4 Void Eyes. 5 Void Eyes in a line. Here we go. Nothing back there to protect against the Rhino drop, so again, Illuminati going to make some good use of tempo here. It is running at a level 2 tower. And in fact, those Void Eyes might engage with it after it comes off the tower. No, they're going to be moving away, I think. Actually, it might aggro it. It won't go to the other tower. It'll come straight to the Void Eyes during the debuff. Rest of the fight, the mobile beacon without the Void Eye support has had trouble. More eyes! Lady Narrowing waves pom-poms. Go, cuties, go! Wait, we do have pom-poms for you, right? I think we have pom-poms. There we go. We have pom-poms for you. They're wasp pom-poms, I'm afraid. We get the unit reinforcement drop for round 5, 6, and 7. Be a Badger Ray flank down here on the corner. And Illuminati also took the Rays, goes for 4 of them, just immediately into burst mode. All right. Burst mode Rays everywhere for Illuminati. And Scorching Charge Badgers now for River Skende. So he's going to, he's kind of relying on the idea that I'll have these guys coming in, but Illuminati positioned well to cover a flank with this set of Stormcallers. So those will be firing out into it. Fire Badger down there. So, and this Phantom Ray, I think 10 missiles, 10,000 damage. I might not kill them outright, but it should, on the round that they're summoning in, that burst mode for a level 1 should do it. Gonna get an interesting set of mobile beacons, one from Illuminati, so very much like a Phoenix flank with a Phantom Ray up here. And 16 meters per second. These guys will be getting in on that tower really quickly. The Void Eyes, by the way, have suppression now. The Phantom Rays take that tower while these guys are engaged. Burst mode, level 1 Phantom Rays. 1 pack destroying a single level 3 each volley. And it's a lot of damage from Illuminati. 3 surviving packs of Storms, 2 surviving packs of Rays. That's more than 1,000 damage. River is down to 1670. Well, 1690, I guess. Well, Illuminati solid at 3600. Illuminati takes the absorption module. After having hit with the call-ins almost every time, he skips the underground threat, but I kind of expect that River will have to play around it. River takes the portable shield. Oh no. 3 more Phantom Rays with high explosive ammo now. These guys on the back side now. High explosive ammo, this guy's leveled up, but high explosive ammo is going to reduce the damage per missile, but increase the splash. So they've got like a 10-meter splash now with each of those 10 missiles. So a volley of 6,500 damage coming out of this Phantom Ray with a lot of splash. But you can see the difference that this made. Those guys being summoned in allowed River to win the flank, to get the charge Badgers going, and that buys him enough time for Rydens to clean up. And it looks like River might have stabilized. Well, you survived barely. The 3 surviving Fangs came so close to killing that Raiden. 93 hit points left, I'm going to guess, of the 40,000 originally. Another absorption module on offer. Illuminati goes for mobilizing the battleship. Again, he's got space on the back line. Could also drop that to be attacking one of the Rydens, potentially. Now he's going to go for the back line. He's gone for these call-ins every single time. No, I knew this was going to be two good players, right? It's two really solid players that you basically aren't going to find fault with their play. Um, if there's a fault I would have found in their play so far, it's River not really respecting the tower cheese on round 2. Um, but you know, who really does that? Who would really go for the Stormcaller tower cheese? The other thing that's happened here, though, is River has wound up with those improved sabers, but they're not. How to describe this? They're not getting. He's not getting as much value out of that card as he could have because we're only in 2 of them. They're so expensive for him to recruit, and he's only put it's only put 2 down with the 2 techs. It'll be not a Void Eye, but a Raiden doing 12,000 damage. That will not one-shot these Fire Badgers. They will get to Scorching Charge away off of that. But between a Void Eye and a Raiden, I think that might kill this before much happens. They do leave their flames on the ground. Fire everywhere. I kind of missed what Illuminati changed that won that flank for him this time. The call-in battleship gets the tower at a pretty good time and is smart enough to go for the other tower. That is 2 back-to-back debuffs. And then, just for good measure, we'll go take out the anti-missile device there as well. Boom. If this thing were real, we'd be real close to game, but it is summoned in. Summoned things do 1/4 damage. It only does 100 hit points. River's going to down to 866. Illuminati skips. Love laser sight. I love redeployment for both of those. For River Skende, I don't think he needs barrier. Takes the laser sights. Oh. Illuminati, this is clever. Rhino assault onto this guy as the poor man's jab. Poor man's javelin. It will come in and do, a Rhino a level 1 Rhino has 17,000 hit points. So when you land a Rhino on another unit, land a call-in of any type on another unit, although it has to be a ground call-in, it'll do damage equivalent to its own hit points to the units on the ground. If the units on the ground are completely destroyed, they deal damage back to the Rhino, equal to their hit points. If the Rhino has less hit points than the unit beneath it, then it'll just be dead before it hits the ground, but it'll leave the unit damaged. So this Raiden's going to take about 17,000 damage right off the rip, and it'll be a level 2 mountain finisher for Illuminati. It's just going to have that right out in front where it no text or anything on it. It's just 27,000 hit points. We're going to let the Raidens sit there and shoot it forever, while the Phantom Rays have range. That might be what changed last turn if they added range to ensure also River sold out of this flank. But here's the thing, right? You're EMPing it, but you're not really in range of anybody. Well, I mean, you got some of these guys. Mountain doesn't care. It hits the tower. Clever of Illuminati not to put any text on it. It's not in, he wasn't in any danger of it getting EMP'd. The Mountain still has about half of its hit points, but now the Void Eyes and Sabretooth get to shine. Mountain Finisher does not finish, and Illuminati is suddenly down to 818 hit points. We go to round 9, both players under 900 hit points. Additional deployment slot very late in the game for that, but being able to bring out 4 of a unit. Now, I was going to point out one thing. River, like many players, has gone to chain and fork both on his Raidens, and that means that there's no room for ionization. Ionization is what would make short work of the Mountain here. is to have put on such a good game that we are going to have to snooze ads, I think. The power of the eyes, indeed. What, me, biased? Never. Oh, double shot? Okay, so the double shot was to more quickly take down the mountain, River answering the mountain he knew about. Illuminati has sold the mountain, used his additional deployment slot to elite mass recruit 4 packs of wasps, and by selling a level 2 mountain, he's got so much cash on round 9 that he's also able to triple tech them. So range, aerial specialization, electromagnetic shot is very bold into a player with Mustangs, but he's very much counting on the fact that this is the last round, win or lose. And those Mustangs have been dying in the fire. Problem is, they're not a great answer to the sabers. They don't shoot through sabers very quickly, and with chain enabled, unit attacks jump to hit 6 of them. There's only 12 wasps in a pack, right? Is that gonna be game? Has River done it? Here come the wasps. The wasps go down. River Skende has done it. Knocks off the German in round 1. Very nicely done, River. And there's the heart. Thank you for not spoiling the outcome. I appreciate that. Well done, well done. We will run our ad while we look for other action. We'll be right back. And congrats to those who bet on Illuminati. You guys have paid out 1-to-1, essentially 2-to-1, however that works. But yeah, nicely played, River. That is really solid. I thought the pivot to the wasps was an interesting idea for a finish, but it didn't pan out. Note that River is in what I would call a very weak chaff board, right? He's very much relying on, well, kind of took a look, I guess, at the Fire Badgers throwing fire on the ground and decided not to commit more chaff into that and just commits to winning in the air with the Rydens. Very clever. I did click the wrong side. My bad, my bad. Well, at least it's only 10 rocks. My bad. At least the wager was tiny this time. I know, sorry. Right. Apuchi, Shadoff, Mathis Might, and Andy all getting wins as you might expect. HD Sushower should be grinding out the win against J Galt. We'll take a look at that. Defending champ Sparty with a round 1 win. Narayan, Play Archer as well. We'll step into Fury against Bratwurst. You won your game with Steel Ball Wraith aggro. What name are you playing under tonight? Baller said earlier today that he's been Lady Narroween says, wow, check this out. Power of Void Eyes. They win the game and give me my win, even though I shouldn't have won. See, eyes are the best. Yikes. Also, why are we not recording? We're supposed to be recording this. Well. That looks like a very solid round win for Hackerman on round 9. We'll be going to round 10 here. Just a moment. Bratwurst does still have a level 4 Typhoon down here, but it'll go down as well. We are in a weekend tournament European 127. in Tournament European 127. We're still in round one. Laser sights for both. It is neck and neck on this one. Dark Mango Psychology. What's the fun in saying what name it is? Well, don't you want credit when you get wins? And if I know it's you, I'm more likely to stream it or cast or curse it, depending on your feelings. If you win, you'll let everybody know afterwards. Got it. Got it. Yay. All right, quick. Scan through all the round one games, looking for somebody who had a ball wraith. Wait, that won't uniqueify it. There you go. Fury does get the job done. He's bratwurst here in round one. And I think that will end. That was, in fact, the end of our rounds. So, going around the gang here, our top seeds, and I'm gonna take the moment to write it down as we go here. Our top seeds: number 1 seed Poochie with the win over Rojuan, 3 seed Shadoff, 5 seed Math is Might, 7 seed Andy, and 9 seed HD Susauer all getting the wins. Play Archer, Narayan, Sparty all get W's as well. Fury and Riverskende the first upset at 28, upsetting the 19 seed Illuminati. Further on down, you've got Hungry Man over Coldfire, Isaac beats Losakal, Dionys over Park. We thought about watching that game, but imagine Park is glad we did not. AWM gets a win. Wisto, it does seem likely that is the missing fellow. Merle's Tagalect at the 35 seed, a nice little upset there with the win over Sunnyside. I did point that out as two very good players. Merle's Tagalect has been performing very nicely in weekend tournaments right now. A lot of top, let's say top 8 finishes, sometimes as high as second. Hasn't won one yet, but definitely a name to keep an eye on in these. Uli might be our first. Oh, FBI Open Up is the other possible baller. That definitely sounds like a baller name. ICAD and Laumamj are the top seeds. They get some W's. Further on down, you have wins from Last Zep, Amunatran, Quack Goose, Ausari. This will be kind of the middle of the pack folks that we'll try to watch one of those games. Probably it might be Zep against Merle's Tagalect, I would imagine. Might be the closest in seeds. Skillless one, that's definitely baller, right? All right, there is your top group. Looks like Bratwurst had the bye, but and that gives Hackerman a minor point, so he's top of the group. But the rest of them, Apuchi, Shadoff, or Pucci, Lau, Shadoff, ICAD, Mathis Might, FBI, Andy, Uli, HD Susauer, Doxson. Your top 10 coming into round 2 here. Let us see here. Let us see here. Let's take, I think we said we would take it. Let's take Merle's Taglicht against Last Zepp. Merle's Taglicht is the 35th seed originally. Last Zepp, the 47th seed. So they are the closest to unbeatens in overall. Oh wait, what's our Merle's Taglicht will be in blue, and I wanted to show a Merle's Taglicht game, so that is part of the part of the group. Put the thinking there. Channel point predictions are up for that one. Merle's Taglicht is going to be a near side blue. They have been performing really, really nicely in tournaments. And by the way, welcome to round 2, weekend tournament number 127. Merle's Taglicht is going to be let's see, here we are. So 11th in Europe last week, but they have finished higher in some of the Asia tournaments the weeks prior to that. So Last Zepp running as Asian 2v2 Intermediate Group 1 champion. So solid there. Last Zepp on the far side, red Rhino Specialist with a Steel Ball and Fang opening, adding some Crawler. Merle's Taglicht, Sabertooth Specialist. Triple Marksman, 2 Sledges on the Rapid Fire Cannon side, and Crawlers as his chaff. That's kind of interesting. Marksman straight behind the tower. That does mean he gets slowed down walking around it, and that could be intentional to keep it from getting too far ahead. Now, Last Zepp has already sold, and I love this, right? You're coming out aggro on a side with a turret. You might as well sell the turret from behind your units on round 1. That way you've got the cell unlocked, you've paid it off, you don't have 60 experience points sitting on the board that if you wind up losing, the units from the far side come over and collect some extra experience on it. And that is not going to happen here. He's already through to tower. His little defensive turret eventually destroyed. Tower take, but the steel balls get the tower for Last Zepp as well. That's steel balls against sledges. And now a tower debuff goes very nicely for Merle's Taglicht, and the sledges will get the job done. So, your favorite here, number 35 seed, with the win in round 1 against the 47 seed, drops him to about 4,500. Last Zepp skips. Last Zepp is technically still ahead. Merle's Taglicht only has 4,300. Merle's is thinking about Elite Mustang, Extended Range Stormcaller, Improved War Factory, brilliant, I love it. Again, it's one of those where it reduces the attack interval, and that can be massively powerful. But, oh no. Last Zepp, interesting, has already gone to Ranged Fangs. Is running these Fangs behind tower already on one side, adds one on this side to protect against the flank. So the theory here is, even if you throw down Mustangs, I'm going to have the steel balls out in front. I can armor the steel balls, and those are going to prevent the Mustangs from getting the damage dealt to the Fangs. And then eventually we will pivot to whatever our carry Fang thing is. You would think a player of Merle's Tagalix skill level has an answer to Carry Fang. On the other hand, we love a good Carry Fang game, and that is what Last Step is showing. You can see how effective it is. We've already taken a round win. We've already fed a lot of experience into Fangs. How many of them are going to level up? We'll see. Now, the old school version of hyper accelerating Carry Fang was to sell your starting level, cost 200 cost units. Last Zep has funded getting this tech out so quickly by selling the anti-armor cannon and the wall. So he's only plus 50 on those two. And I guess skipped. Merle's Tagalix does get his saber, sells it, going for Mustangs. Now, Last Step took the Wasps. I think that's a mistake because opponent definitely wants to be in the Mustangs, and you don't really want 2 units in the Wasps and the Fangs that are heavily countered by Mustangs. But we shall see. And this is one of those where, just taking whatever the best sell value off of that was, leaving this this unit, and committing to more Fangs. There it is, 2 more. At least. What? Deep back here? No. You want to be aggro everywhere. You don't really want to be fighting from deep. Positionings are a little bit off, I think. This is better. Getting the Wasps back behind the steel ball. So, Merle's Tagalix has taken the Mustangs with range. That is the canonical answer. If you struggle with Carry Fang, Mustang with range is the canonical answer. At, let's say, 1300 MMR, just getting into early Mustangs against when somebody's telegraphed Carry Fang. And here's the thing, right? Your Mustangs outrange the Fangs. Fangs get stuck on whatever other units you have on the board, in this case sledges, and that lets the Mustangs clean up. Boom, 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 boom. We've also got the Marksman and Phoenix handling the steel balls. So there you go. The Fangs in trouble. And because there were the Wasps on the board, we've fed extra XP into the Mustangs. That's let them level. The key is to get a level advantage in the Mustangs and get it working. Again, that's also why these guys needed to be up closer to the line. It'll be a armored Rhino with the photon coating going on to the level 2 steel ball instead of the armored Rhino. That's an interesting choice. I really think we probably wanted armor on the steel balls, right? But okay, it'll be armor on the Rhinos. Eventually we're probably selling this to move the photon coating onto the Rhino. Maybe not. Maybe we just go with photon coating the tech. Also a crawler at the back. That is handy. Crawlers are good at slowing down Mustangs, but again, Last Step making some mistakes back here. Has these Mustangs just too deep, or has these Fangs just too deep. These are Mustang fodder because they will be outranged by the Mustangs all day long. For Merle's Tagalix, he's gone straight into Fort Stang. Now, the usual set of plays here is, let's call it Fort Fang against Mustang Melter. Mustang Melter does eventually win that. Fort Fang needs to close it out before the Mustang Melter gets ahead. Nice little sentry missile over there. That's brutal. So Last Step getting some extra work done. Extra value out of that. That'll be feeding experience to these guys. You don't waste experience when you throw down a sentry missile like that. But here, again, you can see eventually they take the tower. During the tower take, that's going much, much better for him. They are mech raged and ranged already. He's running Ignite, doesn't run AP, so they'll never be great against the Mustangs or sledges, but that Ignite could help a lot against the forts. What it does not help with is fort barrier, and that will be part of why Merle's Taglick picked fort, I think, is if he can throw out fort barrier, these the fangs just wind up stuck on it. 2 more forts already. Let's go! I like big forts, and I cannot lie. Merle's Taglick in forts. Last step, adding scorpions. Okay. And another level 2 rhino on the flank, selling 1 steel ball, but not the photoned ones. He's undone a bunch here to get back to... What are we doing with the scorpions? Oh, this is just so painful to watch. All of this investment, right? We want 1 fang right about where this guy is, screening. And we want the rest of this investment up on the line so that we're putting pressure on both towers. I like what Merle's Taglick has done in terms of putting a extra fortification on both towers. Fort Fang, or in this case, Rhino Fang. One of the things it relies on is taking towers early. And when you're taking towers early, you fight under debuff the rest of the way around. It lets you take the other tower. It's really, really nice. Note also that this is very static defense. So things that do well against static defenses would do very, very nicely onto this board. So, for example, Stormcallers. But Stormcallers would steal the XP that the Fangs are trying to get. You are sort of relying on getting levels into the Fangs, out-leveling the Mustangs, etc. Another round for Merle's Taglick. Last Zepp is in a lot of trouble, I think. Emma's happy now that he's seeing forts, and of course the FDLW says, yes, winning. I'm very happy to see winning forts. It's true. Shield airdrop for last Zepp. That'll help. All right, let's get in on the front here. Did he control Z far enough back that he got this steel ball back on the board? He did. That's interesting. I thought he sold this. Oh, no. And now it's siege mode on the Scorpions, so we've reduced their rate of fire. We've halved their DPS output, when what you're counting on is them killing the forts. Well, winning was in answer to what are we doing with the forts? Well, with the Scorps, we are not winning with the Scorps. There is a fun play, by the way, with a Scorpion right on the line that will shoot over the wall. Because the wall is within the red. So I think what's happened here is Zepp's plan was carry Fangs, but he doesn't have the answer to what to do once the forts are out. And the answer really to the forts is throw down the go ahead, throw down the ignite and burn them down, you know? Doesn't matter that they have a zillion hit points if you've got the ability to ignite them. It is working out in that many of the Mustangs are down. It's gonna be a round win for Zepp. I mean, I criticized it, but he's got the job done so far. 3130 for Merle's, 2400 for last Zepp as we go to round 7. Orbital Javelin, that should be very nice into this tightly packed group, even though a lot of them are going to be level 2 forts, so there's no killing them. The only one you could guarantee killing is this guy. Instead, he's going to try to pick up the Phoenix, some of the Mustangs, and just go ahead and damage a level 2 fort early. I like it. It'll be similarly an Orbital Jav for Merle's Taglick. Zepp has sold out of the steel balls at very good timing because they were, well, I think they would have run out from under the jab anyways. We just sell this guy. I think we sold this guy to put the. So this was last turn. This sell. We sold this guy. Put the photon on that rhino on the right hand side. And the forts get range now. So 155 meter range. They will let the Mustangs get in front of them. Not by much, 150 to 155, but you kind of want your... You want to let the Mustangs be late chaff for the forts, I think. Part of the thinking. A nice jab there, though. Both of those forts getting wounded. That is solid. This one somehow missed that Scorpion. It is a whole bunch of armored Phantom Rays tanking the Mustangs all day long. And that's letting these Fangs do a lot of work underneath. We've got the tower. This play felt much more clever to me than the Scorpion play, because now Merle's Tagalict is in a whole lot of hurt. 1220 to 2400. Zepp is getting the dub. It looks like. What have we done? Typhoon, level 3 Typhoon for Merle's Tagalict. I heard a sell already. Last Zepp thinking about it. Takes the 3 Void Eyes. Actos, thank you very much for the Prime sub and the love. Appreciate. Baller says he won round 2 with 8 double-tacked Stormcallers to win in 6 rounds. Ouch. Yeah, when that many Stormcallers survive, you're doing 1600 deep damage per turn to the health bar. Opponent absolutely had to fly. Okay, we're selling all the way out of the Rhinos. The Rhinos were getting hard countered by the forts, right? So now, the forts are going to have anti-air barrage to try and answer the Phantom Rays, or help answer the Phantom Rays. The Phantom Rays have shield and armor enhancement. Note, of course, that armor enhancement increasing the hit points by 35%, so there's effectively one more Phantom Rays worth of hit points out there. Zepp, this might be a mistake, but maybe he didn't see the anti-air barrage coming, so the anti-air barrage fires at the lead Phantom Ray, but winds up actually hitting the second Phantom Ray. So it would have missed otherwise while the Phantom Rays are moving forward. But okay, there are enough Phantom Rays. We've got a Rhino taking the tower on the far left, backed up by all those Fangs I thought were too deep. Now they're getting in with range and speed. They're getting in, and last Zepp getting it done. This is not your traditional Fort Fang or anything. This is we're going very deep on one side, very aggro on the other side. Range and Mech Rage are the only two things he took. He's not investing a ton into techs on the Fangs, and then everything else was just, I'm going to counter whatever you've got on the board. So the Scorpions to help be the shield break from super deep, the armor and energy shield on the Phantom Rays to counter the Mustangs, and willing to sell out. Very important, I think, that he was willing to sell out after putting armor on the Rhinos. I was expecting the armor on the steel balls, because he already had them on the board. But it is a little cheaper to put it on the Rhino, and the Rhino could have had photon coating if he needed it to. But yeah, very nice. I thought that this was contained by Merle's Tagalict, and then it was all of a sudden it was not. Aerial specialization marksman. I mean, he had the marksman available. Losing this tower every time was really painful as well. And then other thing that was going very nicely for Zepp, I'm going to point this out. I think these forts wind up fighting from behind the tower, kind of exposing the tower, so that as Zap pushed in, there would become a small opening that allowed something somewhere to target this this tower. It might even have been like this pack of fangs or this pack of fangs. Especially once this fort goes down, all of a sudden the tower is very exposed. Even the pushing in Phantom Rays are targeting the tower, and 23,000 hit points just not enough to stand on that side. Very, very nice. Done for last Zap. Reven, the fort's two things. One, he was thinking the same thing I was, which was I'll throw down the barrier, and that the fact that he's running Ignite, he's going to be wasting so much time shooting barriers that it's going to be fine. And then they were also solid when the armored unit was rhinos. They were fine for deleting the rhinos and allowing the Mustangs to get through to the fangs. When last Zep pivoted out of the rhinos, it suddenly went much better for him. Fun to see. Fun to see. All right, what else have we got? What else have we got going? Around the group, you do expect the favorites to win here, right? So, Laumamj, ICAD, FBI, Open Up, Uli, all getting it done. Dachshund, Iceweasel took Dachshund down to 9 hit points. How is this not the game we were watching? Holy smokes. Sparty, your defending champ, gets a W. Fury, Akal, Dionys. Again, the top 20. In fact, River Skende winning as well. So Merle's last Zap, so far the only person to have pulled off an upset. Skillless one also upset Hungry Man. AWM, Quisto, Reven, Play Archer, Andy, Math is Might all getting wins. Let us step into... Are you still going? Is Shadoff gonna win this one? 8 extra hit points, no problem. Exactly. In this one, Shadoff on the near side, blue with Amplify Specialist. Valinark on the far side, Fortified Specialist, has Sandworms, Tarantulas. Sorry, he has Sandworms and with, it looks like, Arclight and Storm as the long-range damage. Getting the round win in round 9, so he drops Shadoff to 1058. Or even 8 extra hit points, no problem. It's about Dachshund. Dad's Smurf account said, GG, Scorp's rule as always. Scientifically proven, Scorp's better than Force. Wait a minute. Scientifically proven, Charles Tagalicht didn't buy much chaff. Prevent the Forts from, or the Scorps from being useful. Okay. Valinark now in... Well, jump drive and wasp production, but winds up with the orbital coming in on top of those wasps, coming in on top of the shields. So overlords and sandworms, huh? Into triple teched tarantulas. Triple teched tarantulas trying to handle the wasps. Sure. The overlords survive. The oil on the other side, I guess defensive oil. And there you go. That is a big upset. Your number 3 seed Shadoff going down to Balanark at 1300 MMR. Takes down somebody at 2100. Congratulations, sir. Nicely done. That's very pretty. Very pretty indeed. Triple tech sandworm? Sure. Two different units are teched as aerial specialization here. I wonder if that means... Well, and the Void Eyes aren't charged shot. You could have charged shotted the Void Eyes to do a lot more damage to the sandworms if needed. Interesting board. 130,000 hit points on a level 1 worm with armor enhancement, burrow maintenance, and double health on the tower. That's a play, right? Holy heck. No item, I'll just crank the hit points up. So Balanark, 44th seed. That means round 1 opening. Balanark would have been down around 87th, 88th maybe. Original seed. So huge win for them. Glad we got to showcase that one a little bit. All right. Anything else notable out there? Skillless one was around 57 or 59. Opening seed. Quack Goose did upset Isaacs. Isaacs was the 23 seed, so that's an upset. The 19 seed Hungry Man, or 21 seed originally Hungry Man, I think, goes down. We saw Zep over Merle's Tagalith. Right, that sets us up like so. We'll run our ad while we're waiting for it to come back. Is that the worm girlfriends always ask their boyfriends they would love if she turned into one? Man, would you love me if I turned into a tremendously powerful giant thing? I mean, there are some guys who are into that, Lady Nguyen. Not gonna lie. Right, Apuchi, ICAD, Math is Might, your remaining favorite Slamage has been dropped down into the middle, so he's kind of a bit of a bit of a trap game for somebody down in the middle of the board there. Math is Might, Andy, Dachshund Play Archer up at the top. Let's see, who did you draw here? Dionys against Play Archer. That's two very good long-time 401 players. Alanark's reward for beating Shadoff is to face ICAD. All right, then. FBI open up facing Narayan. That is 6 versus 13 here. That's a solid match. Sparty against Laumamj. This is a rematch of last week's championship game. Yikes. That's a tough ask for Sparty. It really is, guys. Let's give you the party is in blue. Okay. Welcome back to those of you that see ads. And welcome to round 3 of Weekend Tournament 127 European. We have a rematch of a Weekend Tournament 126 final between Sparty and Laumamj. So, defending champ, 15th seed in this tournament, going up against the number 2 seed Laumamj. Was it a one-off, or does Sparty have Laumamj's number? Training specialist on the far side, red for Lau. He's got the Sledgehammer Arclight start. Very, very strong start. Sparty, giant specialist, taking a Hound and Saber start. And it looks like he'll be coming out aggressive onto the rapid fire cannon. So generally when you're attacking the rapid fire cannon, if you pick up some crawlers, you'll put them behind the tower. Now he's changing his mind. He's coming over on the more predictable side. I'm sorry, behind your forces, I meant. He's coming over on the more predictable side. Sparty, of course, your defending champion of this very tournament. Laumamj, also wearing a champion badge as the Week 126 America's 2v2 champion. He has been playing very, very well. Number 2 seed overall. Definitely a threat to win it all, as we saw last week. He made it to the 7th and final round, but went down to Sparty. The gap in MMR is almost 400 points between these two. So, Sparty definitely the underdog. And I'm going to remind you, you do have your channel point predictions up. Go ahead and get them in. Do you think Sparty can do it again? Or do you think Laumamj has his number this time? They are in a headbutt, and that should, assuming he can clear the chaff, which he does, that should favor the man with the sabers early on. The training specialist had leveled up one of those arc lights. It goes down. Sabertooth barely surviving and barely not leveling up. So, good luck and bad luck for Sparty that round. Laumamj instantly into the Phoenix, wants the air. I did say that was going to be the meta from about Season 3 onward, that we would see the round 2 Phoenix. Very, very frequently. But here it is. Sparty giving it plenty of thought. He's got plenty of time. Round 2 is the turn to take your time, I think. He'll also take the Phoenix. Basically, needs to have an answer if Laumamj took the Phoenix. Plus, the Phoenix will help work their way through the sledges more quickly. That helps the Sabers get in on target. Now, slight problem. They'll be in under the those Phoenix. So he needs some frontline chaff to ensure that there aren't insta-locks. 2 crawlers. One behind tower, one very deep. Means they're, well... Nope. Changes his mind about the one behind the tower. Whoa. Going for this whole grouping. Then elites, or mass recruits the third one, puts the third one on the line. Okay, this is more what I was expecting. Throw down that crawler on the line to make sure we don't get a insta-lock. And that'll give these guys time to get through. Other thing is that ensures, not that Laumamj is likely to spend a sentry missile on round 2. Just not going to value winning the round that much. But, you know, at 13 to... Well, at 1,000 to 1,500 MMR, you certainly might have seen somebody throw down a round 2 sentry missile and try to win it. Not enough chaff depth for Sparty, and the Arclight survives. All 4 Phoenix survive for Laumage. The idea is once the Phoenix are off and running, the we'll come in with this as well. Here we go. We'll throw down for Sparty. Yes, I will be clicking that Sparty won whether he wins or loses. No, wait. Okay. So he needs better depth, I think, in terms of the chaff. Chaff was definitely dying quickly. Laumam is going to try and make sure that that doesn't, that continues to happen. Has added a Wraith. Wraith very strong into a headbutt, right? And that would also have been a good spot for either an intensive training or a heavy armor, but he looks like he skips the... He took the heavy armor and put it on the sledge instead of on the Wraith. Interesting. Interesting. I guess that sort of speaks to intending to range and heavy artillery the Wraith. For Sparty, range on the Hounds. Trying to keep them behind the Sabertooth. Man, I hate that all the tanks start with S. Like, come on, pick something that's... I mean, I know that that's... They picked the names in Mandarin, so they aren't looking at the English language spellings. That's a bit better for Sparty. If it weren't for those heavy armored tanks, the heavy armor sledges, he might have won this one. The heavy armor taking just too long to clear. Sparty down to 3,500 hit points. He has sold out of his turrets. Lau has not yet begun to sell his turrets. Going ahead and allowing Sparty to have to fight in under those. Fight under the guns. Laumam skips again. This is where he's getting a lot of his value. Just skip, skip, skip. I'm not taking these cards. I don't care. Interesting to skip subsidized Arclight when you've got 3 arcs on the board. You could certainly have committed into, 3 more arcs with range. Even Elite recruited them this round. And I certainly, that's a line I could have seen a lot of people taking. Instead, he's committed, he stays committed to his previous choice, which was to take the Wraith, positioned the Wraith back where we knew he was going to be taking range on it, to try and keep them behind the sledges and keep them protected. It died last time to the Phoenix. This time it'll be behind the sledges. Both of them will be behind the sledges. And that should get plenty done. Hounds back here are just going to get Nope, they are not. There are Fangs as well. So the Fangs will get targeted by the Phoenix. The Arclight will eventually chew through them. There's also a front crawler here. And I think he's leaving space for another Hound or Saber there. Second Saber got made it to level 2 and got a nano repair kit. And look at this, Lau's still not selling out of these. I don't know if this armor cannon is even really firing in the course of these battles. I don't think it fired last turn. But what it does do is leave some, it just leaves a little obstacle there. There's no clean lines to tower, right? So, I have been selling out of things. Maybe Lau is looking at it the other way around, like, these things have some value. Let me just leave them on the board. I can always sell them way late in the game if I've got the got it unlocked and I like what I'm on. Like where my board is and need the extra 100 and already have the thing unlocked. Advanced power system when you're the attacker, always really strong. You want to close. For Laumamj, he wants more bodies between attack and tower, so additional deployment slot making good sense. Efficient tech research can be an economic advantage, but you have to have bought basically 4 techs for it to pay out. Laumamj going to go ahead and take oil. Also picked up one more Wraith to help clean up this this back corner, just not at all trusting the arc lights. Sparty skipped the speed, took the additional deployment slot himself. And going into Raiden. Left room for them. I mean, that looks almost pre-planned, right? The 5 space would have allowed him to throw down the throw down overlords as well. I almost wonder if this guy is supposed to be 10 meters over, or if the choice to cut off the overlord there was intentional. Also interesting that the one Raiden is slightly offset ahead of these guys. We'll see if that matters later. With range on the Hounds and the range of the Raidens, this oil might not be that big of a deal in terms of affecting the overall fight. I think it does mean there's more splash kills happening in there. That works for Sparty. 3 giants from the giant specialist. Additional deployment slot may put to very good use. So suddenly, Lau down to 2102. That's the return that he took the oil. I mean... Okay, now you've got improved firepower control, you've got absorption module, you've got tank production line. All 3 of those are great for a giant specialist. Efficient light is kind of a trap on round 7. Well, round 6, I guess. Especially for the giant manufacturer, giant specialist, you're going to want to be in your giants. And Lao Mam's just like, look, I'm not going to be building 7 more units. I might not be building 7 more units in this one. All the tanks start with S in honor of the Swedish S tank. All right then, I believe it. What Lao Mam's is going for? Yikes. Crawler on the line, Fire Badger right behind. I'm just going to light the ground on fire. All of your crawlers shall die, and I'm going to win this round. You will not be beating me on round 6 of this game. Huh. Sparty is cagey to that, trying to connect deeper with his oil. So if you go ahead and light that on fire, I'm going to put things a bit deeper. And Lao is on that play with the shield to block it. So blocks some of the center line here. Very nice. Third Saber, new crawlers coming from different angles over here. This guy finally gets involved. Nice Phoenix and crawler flank from Lao over here. So the crawlers pull most of the fangs out of the way. The Phoenix, however, targeted... Oh no. The Phoenix targeted the crawlers up the middle that Sparty might have not even intended, because he bought those right at the last moment. They're on the helipad. So they're running past the Phoenix here, and they are closer to the Phoenix than the tower. So Lao, with a very nice tower take play, doesn't actually get to take the tower and wins the round anyways. Basically on the fire. 2 level 2 Mustangs for Sparty. Note also that Lao is very static back there. Stormcallers could have been really valuable. He might be thinking Mustangs because he has no answer to the Wasps, and the Wasps would be chewing up the Raidens. So that's the play. We'll have Mustangs deep enough that they can cover this flank, I think. Mustangs in the middle. Lao also goes ahead and takes the Stangs. I don't think he had to worry about Wasps so much with the ranged Wraiths already. But, you could see ranged AA Wasps outranging things. And Sparty with a pack of Stangs on the back line. The idea is those should charge far enough forward to engage the Phoenix that are here. This pack of crawlers will engage the Phoenix that are there. Of course, the Phoenix are no longer there, but Sparty doesn't see that, right? 2,800 to 2,100. Your defending champ has beaten Lau once in a row. Is he going to make it twice? He's facing not a 5 Mustang row. It looks like it is 5 ranged Mustangs back there. 3 Mustangs the ad here. With that many man, do you throw these crawlers underground to go ahead and take subterranean blitz? Just to try and stay alive a little longer. Sparty does get in on a level 2 tower, but that does not fall. The right side completely collapsing. Lau at 2,100, Sparty down to 1,500. Is it going to be vengeance for last week's defeat by Lau? Baller says, skillless one really lived up to his name? Oh dear. Do I want to ask? Do I dare ask? Nice little mobile beacon from Sparty. Trying to make sure nothing ends up in the Jav. He's also sold this heavy armor saber that would have been under the Jav to place it on the sandworm. So heavy armor sandworm over here, 233,000 hit points with heavy armor enhancement, and level 2. And those Phoenix are back after this tower. Phoenix are back on that side with a support of a Wraith, a Crawler, and a missile, a sentry missile. Lau still has not unlocked Cell. Like, I'm just, nope, not gonna do it. Not even to get out of these guys, who kind of look like a lost cause at the moment. Armored sandworm from Sparty getting out in front, tanking a whole bunch of stuff. There's a level 1 next to it. Now, the tower goes down, but that does not negate the armor's ability to prevent extra damage from the Mustangs. Those Mustangs are basically shut down, and Sparty's going to win this round pretty solidly. Does needs to take this far side tower down before he engages the Wraith. 4 Giants surviving, making great use of being Giant Specialist. He's got Laumamj on the ropes again at 359. Orbital bombardment for both. I mean, you kind of got to assume, I would think. Level 2 mountain with the intensive training. It didn't work for Illuminati. Will it work for Laumamj? Is mountain what you need against a sandworm? Level 2 mountain right up on the front. It's going to do 13,000 damage every 2 seconds. But more importantly, it's going to stick that sandworm on the surface. Lau also backing off the front here. Kind of interesting. Sparty playing missile out the chaff. Lau's oil dropping into the same spot where it'll get lit on fire again. A little ballsy to put the center line on Sparty's side of the board, but I think he's counting on the mountain's first shot taking it down. But Sparty could conceivably bubble out here and out here. He's not going to, he's just going to bubble deep. But bubbles in the right spots could have left the this little part dropping, but kept these outside crawlers alive for Sparty. He's going to make a straight run with a now level 2 nano repair worm coming after the level 2 tower. Let's see if it works. Can Sparty beat Lau back-to-back weekend tournaments? The mountain has done its job. One worm down. But tower goes down on the left side. Who needs your chaff? It can burn it all. But Sparty has beaten Lao. Last week was not a fluke, folks. Not a fluke. I'm sorry, I said there were 400 MMR between these two. Turns out there were 231 MMR between these two. Sparty, champion last time, beats the number 2 seed Lao. He's on his way. Is this going to be another legendary run for Sparty? Well done. Lao, how did we never sell out of these? I'm so confused. Hey, look at that. I had faith. I am rewarded. Wins for your top seeds. Apucci beats Carl Krieger. Mathis Might knocks off Quack Goose, the 52nd seed. Not up to the 5th seed here, but did take him down to 1,000 hit points. Doxson, last game out, he goes down to 9 hit points. He faces Rev Ruskende, who we saw in round 1 of this tournament, and has plenty of hit points. So number 10 seed beats the 28 there. Reven, your original 15 seed, facing Acal, who was number 4 seed. Reven gets it. No, I'm sorry. Acal was number 20 seed. My bad. So he says, I won with ER Banshees. So ER Phantom Ray. Very nice, Reven. Well done. Wisto over Skillless One, as he said. He found the Skillless One relatively skillless. Gets the job done. So Puisto confirmed as the Night Baller. FBI Open Up knocks off the Russian streamer Narayan. FBI Open Up is the original 6th seed. So Narayan, the 13th seed, goes down. Uli was where? 8th seed. Uli, the 8th seed, beat HD Susauer, who was your 9 seed. So 8v9 there. Would have been a great match to watch if we didn't have a rematch of last week's tourney final. And congratulations to Uli. Sparty beat Lao. AWM beats Fury. Clay Archer wins the Battle of the 401, beating number 22 seed Dionys. Off the wrong one there. Last Zepp, 47 seed, facing Andy, who is the original 7 seed, and it looks like he's getting it done. Balinark's miracle run comes to an end against ICAD. Hey, I mean, the guy had to face 2 very, very good players. FBI Open Up is Skay. Makes some sense. All right. Again, Zepp, the last surviving member of the outside of the top half of this tourney, has Andy. Now, Andy is the number 7 seed. Has Andy down to 239 hit points. Andy did drop out after losing last week, or this morning in the Asia tourney. So dropped out after taking a loss and finished 40th officially. Last Zepp, as we've seen earlier, the Asian Intermediate Group 1 champion. So, for 2v2s. He's running Shield Barrier with Rocket Punch as a training specialist. Also has Siege Mode Acid Attack Scorpions. That is intended, I think, to take down the mountain. Mountain is a Saturation Bombardment mountain with increased splash range and 16 shells instead of 4 each time it takes its attack. And the attack interval is bumped from 2 to 4.4 seconds. But when it hits hard. Andy was originally a Sabertooth specialist. Looks like we've got armor-enhanced energy shield Phantom Rays that are tanking the Splash Mustangs all day. I mean, Splash Mustangs are going to do nothing to Armored Rays, right? Zep Zep basically in a similar board with a Carry Fang start? He is. Look at this. He's in a similar board to what he ran last time with this Carry Fang and then Siege Mord Scorpion. And straight into the armor enhanced energy shield Phantom Rays. Wild. Goes ahead and drops a electromagnetic strike and a missile strike on basically the same spot. You could, if you wanted to make sure this missile landed, you could drop a sentry missile onto this pack of crawlers, and I think it would get it done. Pretty precise positioning, though. Andy over on the left side with Mountain. His fourth Mountain now. That's gonna hurt, dropping the, almost all but dropping these shields right off the rip. Reven says, wait, I see no connection between Siege Scorps and Carry Fangs at all. But if it works, it works. That's kind of where we're at, right? Like, it shouldn't, but it is. It shouldn't be working, but it is. Well, he's got 2, 3, all 4 mountains down. Has he done it again with this build? Has Last Step done it again? I think he has, you know. And that is your number 7 seed Andy, beaten by the 47 seed. Nicely done, man. Zep is, yeah, so, Baller says, hey, you know, acid does buff fangs pretty well. And yeah, I guess I'm seeing that. You throw the acid out in front, that increases the damage on the fangs. This time he took Ignite. Basically hadn't taken that until the last round. But once he's getting Ignite connecting with the mountain, and of course the acid from the Scorpions does increase both the damage from the Ignite and the damage from the Fang normally. So that works out pretty nicely for him. It's fascinating. He's got one build. He's going to run it. And we will be right back after ad. Right. Take a look at our rankings. Math is Might is on to the number 1 seed at this point. Apucci, your original number 1 seed, will be down in the middle. We've only got 12 unbeaten. Last Zep will be facing Uli. I'm sort of tempted. But you know what else we have got? AWM against Math is Might. Apucci versus FBI open up. So that is your 1 seed versus your 6 seed. Dachshund against Sparty. That's a great match. Reven versus Play Archer is a good match. Baller against the number 4 seed ICAD. Also a good match. Lot of good opponents here. But we're going to take our 1 seed against our 6 seed. That is the highest remaining match, highest matchup of 2s. 4 of the top 10 already out at this point. Lowmam, Shadoff, Andy, and HD Susauer, leaving 6 members of the top 10, 5 members from 11th to... Wait a minute. Yeah, 6 members of the top 10, 5 members of the 11 through 20 club, and last Zep from 47th seed, trying to get deeper into this. He is having a run. And, Baller, no, you cannot ban... Reven is not a unit. You can't ban Reven. Archer. Play Archer might be able to ban Reven from this, getting on screen for the right end of this. But, here we go. Find the rare snow spell. Yeah. Do. At the end of this round's match, would somebody remind me to go actually get the coffee? The coffee is made. I just don't have it with me. Oh, Kiddo heard that. Hold on a sec. Kiddo might be being the best kiddo ever. They are just hanging out. We have a stupid flat tire on the car, so I can't take them anywhere this weekend. So, right. Welcome to round 4 of this one. We've got a treat for you. We just had a rematch of the finals from last week. Now you get FBI Open Up, who we think might be Skay. Oh, a number 6 seed versus the number 1 seed Apuchi. That definitely looks like a Skay profile picture. Right. Welcome to round 4 of Weekend Tournament European number 127. Number 6 seed Skay. Number 1 seed Apuchi. Your America's champion, looking to add Europe. Now, Apuchi has been on a tear lately with 2 weekend tournament wins on week 123, 1 on 125, 1 on week 126. You gotta figure he's gonna win either here or Americas if he's gonna stay on form. He's gonna win either here or Americas. He took a 3-week break, took a little while to get back up to form, but now he is playing like the ace we know and love. Number 1 seed Apuchi, Typhoon Specialist with a Void Eye start. Hearing Lady Naween's pleas for Void Eyes. The Void Eyes is going to be out in front of Hounds with the coffee delivery from Kiddo. Thank you so much, Kiddo. Kiddo received, by the way, another gift today off of our off of that. It was a late birthday present, but the wolf-themed shelves that they had left. Apuchi gets through, gets the tower. So I'm going to say thank you to the anonymous donor on that. Much appreciated. Apuchi gets through, gets the left side tower, gets the right side tower, and wins round 1 pretty handily, dropping Skay to 42-40. Skay on the near side had started out perfectly balanced formation, normal deployment, with the Giant Specialist, with Hound and Sledge. He'd added Crawlers. Sells the right side Sledge, it's too late. Okay, this is definitely Skay. Goes straight to a Vulcan in front of the main attack with a haste module on it to increase the DPS. So haste module, of course. Excuse me. Haste module plus 35% damage now. That was has been steadily reduced. At one time it did 40%. Before that it did 50%. But it's always kept the movement speed. So what you wind up with here, with plus 35% damage, this Vulcan is going to be doing 118 damage per 10th of a second, almost 1200 DPS and has the ability to take Scorching Flames. Scorching Fire has been reduced over time as well. It's down to plus 85% damage, which I think is probably better balanced. I'd always liked the idea of making it so that it reduced the range or something, like you've got, or, because you're tightening the focus of the flames, so you don't get them as going as far out. Now let's see if the Void Eyes are able to bring that beast down. Pucci did level one of the Mustangs to level 2. Just got that much experience out there, but that is just going to feed XP to the Vulcan here on round 2. And it does. Vulcan almost all the way to leveling. Does level. Skay is going to have a level 2 Vulcan with an item on round 3, assuming he wants it. He's already got Cell unlocked as well. Winds up taking the Marksman. Do you believe this? Triple level 1 Marksman for a man that loves his Vulcan Melter. Or his Vulcan Marksman, even. Oh, that is gross. That is just bear-like giving Skay exactly what he wants. So, how are we going to get in and beat Vulcan Marksman? Well, Pucci, he doesn't have Mustangs. Opponent doesn't have Mustangs. Opponent did not get a Mustang drop because Pucci has Mustangs on the board. Pucci takes the Wasps. Just going to let those run straight in. Skay went ahead and leveled the Vulcan. You got to figure he's selling something. He does, in fact, sell the turret from the middle. So he's got 400 available. Not buying a second Vulcan. It's going to be a Crawler. Where is that Crawler? Crawler deep here. Kind of blocked by this thing at the angle I had it at. It's in underneath that corner. And a Crawler out on this side as well. Also new add. Repositions the Marksman a little bit wider. And goes for mass recruiting to get a 4th Marksman on the board. So there'll be 4 Marksmen that start leveling early. And then eventually, I think what he winds up doing is playing enough, playing a bunch of Vulcans, getting a bunch of levels into the Vulcans, and running best partner off of them. For Pucci, it's he's taken Suppression Shot on the Void Eyes to give them a little bit better range. Has not ranged the Mustangs yet. Does have the Wasps. There's really no counter to the Wasps other than the 4 Marksmen. So the Marksmen are going to spend their time shooting the Wasps. Fine. I think 4 Marksmen is enough to clear all those Wasps. And it is. At least at this point. So, Skay, do you commit to your build? Or do you commit to answering the Wasps? Key question. Absorption module. Oh my god. Absorption and nano repair are just so darn good for the Vulcan player here. One moment, I have spilled coffee. I'll be right back. Luckily, we have learned to keep a pad of paper towels near the computer during streams. So, Pucci, beautiful, I love it. Level 2 fort with an absorption module. For Skay, he decided to skip the absorption module so that he could pick up a range for the Vulcans. But look at that positioning. The ranged Vulcan just winds up stuck on fort forever. Oh no, it does not. It was not stuck on the fort. It was sitting on something else near the fort. Oh no, hold on. It was on the fort right up until Suppression changed its targeting by unlocking it. Brilliant. That's a case where it was locked on the fort, and the fort with absorption module is healing itself, so it didn't care. But all of a sudden the Suppression turns off the lock, and the fort no longer getting the insta lock on the, or no longer force locking the level 2. Ah, that was so clever from Apucci, right up until his own Void Eyes shot him in the foot. And it'll be Exodia build. Exodia, of course, the name for Vulcan and Melter. Now, if you can force Skay into taking Melter, it's a good thing, because in theory, he was going to be going with level 1, or with the Vulcan Marksman, and he's going to count on the Marksman being his DPS. But a level 2 Absorption Module Fort is definitely something that you want a Melter for, so... But he's also not sold the sledges. He sold out of the other chaff clear, I think. And that means he's positioned the Melter a little bit further back. There's also a on-the-line Wasp to pick up a Melter lock if needed. New level 3 Phantom Rays. So Apucci kind of noting that we're relying on the single target clear right now to kill the Wasps. So, you know, go ahead. You guys can all target the Wasps all day long. Marksman and Melter's doing nothing but Wasps so far. There's also a Phantom Ray, so if and when opponent goes to the Mustangs to try and answer the Wasps, Apucci will be able to armor those Phantom Rays and kind of neuter the Mustangs. So playing ahead of himself a bit. Johnny Blaze, Blaze hater. No, man, that is more family friendly here. I don't think that's acceptable. Sorry, brother. Do appreciate the first time chatter. But you know, understand the rules, man. Apucci took Photon Emission. He's just going to make sure that is over the main fight here. Which is grand. Really good for him, I think. Just minimizing the total damage taken. This beast, by the way, is up to level 4. It took Skay a while to decide to drop the Electromagnetic Blast. He goes ahead and invests in it. Now, he's going to get some value in it hitting the fort bubbles and all but bringing these two down. This one's only going to be barely damaged. But Apucci really mitigating a lot of that with the Photon Emission. And that's why Skay took so long thinking about that. When Photon Emission is available, you probably don't want to throw big money down on the Electromagnetic Blast. You also, you know, it's kind of a 50-50, right? Opponent could be EMP blasting your side of the board. You might be photoning your side of the board. You never know. But Apucci has played it right. He's kind of won the mind games there. There is some fire on the ground that is going to kill a bunch of the chaff and a bunch of the Mustangs. But still no real answer to the Wasps and Phantom Rays. The whole left side collapses. Mustangs, or the Marksmen are still shooting Wasps, and the forts are getting it done for Apucci. Note, Apucci has gone. Apucci has taken anti-air off the bar. This is exactly the change I was thinking about making for my board. I was thinking of dropping anti-air for launcher overload. Love it, sir. Anti-air doesn't scale with level. If you're in Elite Marksman, you want things that scale with level. And going to Launcher Overload lets you just turn these things into take a shot every 9/10 of a second. They almost become chaff clear. They're shooting as frequently as arc lights with a 5-meter splash. It's wow. The joy in the voice, in Amarok's voice, when forts do well, sounds like a kid getting the present they wanted for Christmas. Well, in this case, it was seeing somebody whose opinions I really respect. Look at that! Look at that. Takes elite first. Where did you get that from, Apucci? Where'd you get that from? You got cost control, and Archer skipped super supply on round 4. What do you even do with that much econ advantage? Reven, you win, okay? You buy techs, you tech the key units on your board, and you just go on and win, please. And, wait, you took super supply on round 4 and won round 4? Oh no. Please manage to finish that game out. Okay, Skay has gone for energy diffraction, trying to bust through these, the wasps and phantom rays more rapidly, right? Needs to get things locked on the forts. It's interesting, but that just means that the forts are going to outrange them. 135 meter range to 140 right now. But when Apucci takes range enhancement, those poor melters are doomed. I mean, okay, he doesn't even need to take range enhancement yet. Those poor melters are already doomed. Apucci getting it done with forts. This is Amarok's happy place. Lady Naween is not wrong. Let's go. Word in from the from Baller's match. He beat ICAD, the number 4 seed, with a no chaff elite spec start. Let's go. Reven says, I did carry dogs versus carry fangs, and the he used armor on the carry dogs to just negate the DPS of the carry fangs. Camo Pillbox says, wait, what did you do when the forts arrived? Reven says, what do you mean? Dogs beat forts. Hold on a sec. Dogs beat forts? It's kind of news to me, but there we are. Electromagnetic Barrage, the answer for Skay. Apucci, a turn ahead here. He's gone to range enhancement. This is exactly what I said last turn. He was going to outrange the melters. With temp ranges for both sides, it's 180 meter range level 5 fort versus 140 meter range melter. And as long as the rest of his board is getting the job done, clearing the chaff and letting these guys get their shots off, those poor melters are just doomed. Yeah, the EMP barrage is going to bring down some of the shield barrier early, and could conceivably, if there's no chaff left, could conceivably wind up destroying the, turning off the key text for those forts. There it is. That level 5 has its text turned off. But once it gets its text back, boom, boom, they're surviving getting locked on, because, again, energy diffraction does so little damage, so little DPS. They were surviving getting locks on, but it does work out for Skay at the end of the round, with the 2 surviving melters getting locks. Apucci down to 1690, Skay holding on at 900. Steel Ball, I don't know. Apucci takes Raiden. Interesting. Not really what I was expecting. That's a way to EMP. Yep, there it is. We are going to be EMPing from height. Turn off the energy diffraction, turn off the range, it's 4 teched melters, guys. 4 teched melters with crawler production. Haven't seen this in a while. One, two, three, four, five, 6 melters now. And Skay also took the Raidens, by the way, but just took them to sell. Apucci, we always talk about the beauty of Apucci's chaff boards. it is doing pretty well. There's not even a Vulcan over here anymore. Skay has actually sold out of the Vulcan on that side. Has a Mustang production line. Reven and Camo Pillbox having a bit of a conversation about Fang Carry. So I do actually agree with what Reven is saying there, which is buy enough Mustangs to beat the Fang Carry, and then don't overinvest. Right? Whoa! On this board, hold on. Skay has gotten it done. Your number 1 seed, Apucci, your America's champion, beaten by the number 6 seed, Skay. So, 1, 2, 3 are all out of this one. The extra crawler production, and then also going to Subterranean Blitz, just cost Apucci so much in terms of chaff clear. The Raidens never really punched through to get to the melters. The forts never were triple tech forts, but we haven't invested more into them. And Apucci did not do underground subterranean here. Interesting. HD Sour says, "Oh, the melters! I'm so proud of them." HD Sour, of course, one of the other top 10 seeds in this tourney, and loves his melters. 4 tacked energy diffraction melters, and you gotta say, the thing that I love about this build from Skay is, at one point, round 3 or so, he is heavy committed to the Vulcan Marksman. And as soon as he sees that the Vulcan Marksman is going to have trouble against the absorption module leveled fortress here, he's willing to pivot and commit to a different build that he thinks can beat the forts. I mean, for Apucci, I'd love to have seen. I mean, I'd love to just play with this round 9 board a few times and see if we can beat it. Maybe it slipped away from us on round 8 for Apucci with the falling behind this many melters to this many forts. Like, do we need to have extended the line a bit? Did it go south when we sold the couple of Phantom Rays that were actually buying us a fair amount of time for the forts? Hard to tell, but Skay getting it done makes the comeback happen. Yeah, Melter into Elite Fort can end up very, very poorly. Math is Might has won, Reven has won, Uli has won, and Baller has won. We'll step into the last match with Dachshund facing Sparty. This is the 10 seed versus the 15 seed. Ooh, Kiddo makes such good coffee. Is this an oat milk? I think it's an oat milk. And darn it, remembers to cut down on the sugars. For a while, Kiddo was making the knew that I loved sugar, and was making, basically coffees with so much more sugar than I would have ever put into them. And they were delicious. They were fabulous. Is now working on coffees that don't over sugar Dad, since we quit sugar right before. right before the right before Halloween last year, so it's been almost a year. Yikes. I think Kiddo was saying something. Was that directed at me? What did you say? I had the headphones on. Oh yeah. Kiddo says in their defense. Kiddo says that was when I was little. That's good. We didn't at that point. We were a lot less concerned about sugar. Dachshund has already won one match today with 9 hit points left. Is on 85 hit points left, and has count it, 1 surviving worm with its associated friends. I think both players took the steel balls onto this. Steel ball great into sandworm. It's one of my preferred defenses to sandworm is steel ball with range. For Sparty, though, it'll be steel ball with mech div. I don't think that's really what you wanted. I guess maybe it is, because he's got the melters with range. Okay, I see where he's going with this. The melters with range, the mech div steel balls are just designed to keep the worms on the surface for a while longer. And he'll go ahead and take 3 more. That's making better sense. I just thought you were going to use the level 3 steel balls against this. Sparty's chaff clear, it consists of what? 4 packs of sledges. He was in the Void Eyes for Lady Naween. Geek Out Nick says, Dachshund's that warrior who still fights with only 1 arm and 1 leg. Indeed. Tom needs a badger. Well, Dachshund was in Tarantulas with Splash. That is his answer. So the underground, the subterranean on Sparty's crawlers not making much of a difference here. He's running a fortress in Apuchi's memory. Gets in on the tower, takes the tower. It looks like the right side collapsed. By using the oil to slow down this push on this left side tower, really changed timings there for Dachshund. And this is a kind of a neat thing. I don't know if you're noticing this, but one of the ways that Sandworm Replicate works is when the sandworm pops up out of the ground, the replicating... it pops out because it has a unit targeted. The replicated mini worm, the larva, pops up between the worm and the unit it was targeting. And that means that a melter or other beam weapon locks onto the little thing first. Knowing that makes it work. And Faustenberger says, woohoo! I popped into the stream just in time to see worms go burr. And to see our number 10 seed Dachshund. He has skated by on 9 hit points. He's skated by on 85 hit points. He's just beaten the defending champion. It's been a great tourney so far. And then there were 6. We'll run our ad now, but we'll go over who those 6 are. Wisto, Reven, Dachshund, Uli, FBI Open Up, Math is Might. Just to recap, that group is the 5 seed, the 6 seed, the 8 seed, the 10 seed. Reven is the original 15 seed, and Baller the original 16 seed. So, it's really down to 6 of the, I guess, Math, Puisto, Uli, Dachshund, Reven, and FBI open up. So that means we lost ICAD, number 4 seed, and Play Archer, the 11. And what else did we miss here? Oh, and of course the number 1 seed. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all out of this. 5 seed Math is Might is now the number 1, facing the lowest remaining seed in Puisto. Last Zep's Miracle Run came to an end. Who do we want to see out of these out of this group? Is it Uli against Dachshund? It probably is. I mean, Math is Might against Baller is also really solid. Rock fighting hard, not to say underdogs. Exactly. It's true. It's true. We have our hexafinal. There are 4 players remaining from the top 10. We bring you the number 8 seed Uli against the number 10 seed Dachshund. We've seen Dachshund scrape by twice today on very, very low hit point totals. 2 games combined with less than 100 hit points remaining. Yikes. All right, your channel point predictions are up. Uli, near side, wearing a 4th place from Asia this morning, is a training specialist with that hound sledge start. Looks like he is building a fairly standard positioning. This super deep hound I don't like, but maybe he's counting on Mech Rage to get them up into the fight early, or maybe he's thinking he's playing defense. We'll see. Dachshund on the far side, red, wearing his A Dog in Chainmail. Giant specialist with Void Eyes and Mustangs, adds a pair of crawlers. Does what I love to do, which is starting both Mustangs on the same side, and in fact gives them the chaff as well. And he's starting that on the side that's kind of weak at chaff clear. Uli goes ahead and takes field recovery, sells out of the anti-armor cannon, leaves the chaff clear rapid fire cannon at round 1, then buys his crawlers. They are also deep, and takes a sledge level. So that sledge will be, he's a little, I mean, maybe it's wisdom, right? Because he knows this is his weak or exposed side. But the idea there is I'll have the level on the side that I'm being attacked on if needed. And I think part of the idea was to allow these units to be involved in the fight if needed. Like, they should get pulled in. They haven't quite. The Dachshund's positioning has ensured that some of these guys ran out towards the armor cannon. We'll see if Uli is able to really kind of turn on the heat with this early selling out of the turrets. You can see that this side's turret would never have been involved in the fight anyways. Not true for Dachshund. Both of Dachshund's turrets have had things to do this battle. Dachshund does eventually get to the side that he's overloaded on, and wins round 1. 3 surviving Void Eyes, 99 hit points, not 100. So Uli down to 4801. Dachshund still at 5100. You get 2 level 1 Fangs as part of the drop. You could also have had your free Steel Ball or Tarantula, or 2 Marksmen. Dachshund takes the 2 Marksmen. Interesting to take the Marksman when you already had the Void Eyes. I might have been tempted by the Tarantula with, knowing that I needed to... kind of thinking of myself as having the Void Eyes as the single target already. But if the Void Eyes don't fly, and they don't, this is the same board I'm running on mine, I think, just about. Since the Void Eyes don't fly, he does need the Marksman as anti-air single target, apparently. They're also... Well, the Marksmen are in front. And that's going to make for a very, very nice sentry missile here. Not anymore. Doxson's got it covered with a Fang. Uli has sold out in round 1 and round 2, has sold the 2 turrets. I think for this round, personally, I'd have liked to have seen Uli sell the wall that isn't getting attacked, leave the chaff clear over here, and save himself this sentry missile. Like, the sentry missile could conceivably have had some good value, but it's just not a high percentage play against somebody like a Doxson. Lady Noeen says, okay, so far, all my bets have been on the loser, so who do we want to win? And I'll bet on the other guy. Well, Kur says, I'm on Team Cat, so bet on the dog. Well, I mean, I'm on Team Dog, so bet on the... Happy Face? I don't know. It's been a while since we've had bets on both sides, though, so... Right, Orbital Bombardment on for both players. This is one of those, you take it on round 3 because you know it's going to come back on, like, round 8, and you don't even bother shielding it on round 3 because it's, you know, you both have so many hit. Doxson bothers shielding it. Okay, never mind. Now, that might just be, I think the fight is happening so far in front of these that I'm not gonna... I think these are actually going to survive. That's an interesting thought. Last round's pickup for Uli was the Void Eyes. These guys did very poorly at 263 damage. The other 2 packs did very well. A shield up for Uli, so both of them ignoring my advice, which was to just let it ride, and shielding into this. It'll be an expensive mistake if you wind up losing a side and losing 2 shields, right? Reven has said this a couple of times. Early devices are often an expensive mistake. In this case, though, both of them have 1 surviving shield. Doxson loses 1 shield. So right now, you know, if you think about it in terms of spent monies, Uli's out 50 for that 1 sentry missile. Doxson's out 100 for 1 shield. He's lost. Both skipped on round 4. Uli going for more sledge. Doxson going for Stormcallers. So just building out a solid board, right? There is each unit out here has kind of a purpose. What's missing? Chaff clear. Really. And we saw that last round, right? There were Void Eyes shooting at crawlers out over here. Uli immediately into field maintenance sledge, and he is running damage sharing for a finisher later. If needed. So, but for right now, it's just going to be, give me extra hit points on the sledges and let them heal up. That's going to make them pretty close to impervious to the Stormcallers. They will heal most of the Stormcaller damage. He's also going to, I mean, Storms are going to do pretty well against whatever comes out in front that is not a crawler. Why is Doxson not running chaff clear? A. And B, why is it working? He's even taken this tower with a single crawler working on that tower in under the shield. The shields both lasted 2 rounds now. They were bought on round 3. They're going to be alive in round 5. Both players relatively even at 4,000 hit points. Remember, of course, Doxson has not unlocked Cell yet. Uli picks up a pair of Wraiths. He's probably looked at the marksman and said there's no aerial specialization. Wraiths should be safe enough. Dachshund goes to a Vulcan with Ignite, so he's going to be igniting the sledge. There's no armor, haha. So I'm going to just try to ignite through the sledge. Now, Ignite, as we know, that it used to just be the case that Ignite did more damage than healing, than any kind of healing anyways. So, it was fine. Now, though, Ignite actually shuts off the restore hit points element. So, if a sledge is in the splash range of this Vulcan, and that's 15 meters, so even if he's targeting one sledge, another one's going to be in under the splash, he's going to be shutting off the healing. It also looks like a aggro positioned Vulcan marksman, right? All of a sudden. And I've been saying he didn't have chaff clear. Well, a Vulcan is definitely chaff clear. He was a giant specialist. It was a free unlock. Vulcan does not care. A Vulcan on the left side is going to help shore that side up as well. Both teams got in on the towers this time, and that is going to really suit Uli, but in the end, there's still a couple of surviving Void Eyes, a couple of surviving Mustangs, a couple of surviving Marksmen, and 2 surviving Storms. Dachshund wins round 5, Uli down to 3,500. Natiru says, I don't know a lot about this game, but I can tell Dachshund's a mad lad and we should let him cook. I agree. I do want to let the dog cook. They both skip again. Where are we at here? And I think I misspoke. I think Dachshund didn't free unlock the Vulcan. I think he took it on the drop. Round 5 drop would have been more than 1 Vulcan, though, right? Abyss for Uli. I did say a Vulcan over here was going to do well for Dachshund. It's deep instead of further forward. And the Abyss will actually punish this kind of positioning, I think. Dachshund may need to add some chaff, a wave of chaff crawler that's up front of the towers, kind of in this area that I was highlighting. He has finally unlocked Cell, and starts off by selling the little light cannon. Hey, I've got my chaff clear. I don't need you anymore. Has range on the marksman. Looks like it's going to be a ranged Wraith, and I suspect this might be a Dark Companion line for Uli. Uli has also been selling out of the Hounds, so, you know, that's an interesting line. Taking the Hounds as chaff early. They were both chaff and chaff clear in the early game, and then he can sell back out of them as he has a real chaff board and real chaff clear in the Wraith here. The Abyss doing such good work on the right for Uli. Great choice. Getting the job done, and of course, it's not like Dachshund has just ranged the marksman, and it's not like he can do anything to prioritize targeting the Abyss. He doesn't have anti-air on the bar. So Dachshund down to 3,200 hit points, Uli at 3,500. Lightning Storm, Orbital Jav, the 2 things I would have been looking at. Dachshund takes the tank production, puts it on a Vulcan. So, unfortunately, it is the Vulcan that is going to get orbital jabbed out. There is going to be the answer that can take aerial specialization. Right now, it'll be burst mode on the Farseer. So 12 missiles with a 6-second reload time instead of 4 missiles with 2, or instead of 2 missiles with a 2-second reload, right? Effectively double the DPS and overloading anti-missile, which can be really valuable. You've got to assume we're going to get anti-missile on, or anti-air on it next turn. I expect this round goes pretty heavily for Uli because of the orbital javelin onto the itemized thing here. Lock says it's the correct play. First burst and then AA. Burst, of course, is going to help out against whatever you're targeting that the on the ground there. And the Abyss, I did say this. I thought they were going to be a Dark Companion build. There you go. Two Wraiths off the Abyss in as kind of a tech rather than one Wraith in the corner. And as we predicted, the left side going poorly, and Uli winning the right side as well. So Doxson, from 3,200 hit points, dropped hard with two surviving Abyss to 1,399. That's okay. We know Doxson doesn't really start playing the game until he's under 100 hit points, right? He's fine. What could possibly go wrong? Steel balls for everybody. Orbitals are back up. Shields go back up for Doxson. I think this shield has survived since round 3, which is kind of silly. Of course, shields really kind of painful into an Abyss, right? You don't really want to do it. I'd expect Uli to keep this guy on the board in order to be able to attack a Wraith. I'm expecting him not to sell that one. Go back maybe to selling the Hounds. As he builds out a extra... It's going to be an extra Abyss and some Shield Wasps. Shield Wasps into the Mustangs. Obviously, they're going to go down, but he's assuming there will be, I think, the anti-aerial specialization and needs something to go out and tank for them. And if they didn't have the shield, they weren't going to survive the orbital anyways. For Doxson, range now on the Vulcans. And also one more truck, one more Farseer in the middle of the board. He's basically got a Farseer lined up with each Abyss, aside from here. He's got this one for the 4th one out there. Uli added his steel balls on the near side. Doxson just relying on them as late chaff, essentially. And they are really good in late chaff roll against Abyss in particular. Let them come in, let them force the Abyss to rotate, right? One of the things the Abyss does poorly is rotate to adapt to new targets. So if a steel ball can become the target and then force, kind of run past, it's not going to stop on the Abyss, right? If it can run and doesn't get stopped shooting at something. But no, it is overwhelming force for Uli. Everything surviving, all the Abysses and the Wraith and some of those Wasps. It is a solid win for your number 8 seed. The dog in chainmail squeaked by twice and knocked off the defending champion, but can't get past number 8 Uli. Nice board this. This is it's really interesting to watch. And I think it was very much planned. I think that's why the Wraith's early. Why the Hounds never get attack. Really interesting. And I suspect the go signal for it was seeing that the marksmen don't have anti-air. Lady Naween tried to outsmart my bad luck. You voted on opponent and they won. Hey, congrats to Uli. It's nicely done. He is through. Let's see how the other two top games are going. Math is Might beats Baller. So your 16 seed is out. Your 10 seed is out. Reven against Skay still ongoing. Hold on. I saw that map say that the board say it was pretty even. What the heck? Reven is at 3650. Skay's at 702. How does this become an even match? Okay, it'll be... Well, we've got to assume Skay has added... Well, I guess some of the differences against... it does look somewhat similar to the board that... Well, here's how, right? There's a flank wasps that are going to get a tower at a terrible time. Got it, got it. So the Photon is turning off the Ignite. Not Ignite, it's turning off Scorching Flame. Well, not turning it off, but like mitigating some of the damage from it. But eventually, tower take for Skay, and that is just going to be a devastating surprise flank, right? This is not what you wanted to see as Reven. It's what Skay had to do, right? He's got to be desperate at down 3650 to 700. But with this much of the board alive and funneling XP into the marksman, that was a key round for Skay. In fact, might be lethal for Reven, not on round 9, but on round 10. Even down to 1,000 hit points, Skay at 700. We'll see the final round, and look at this. Those wasps. The wasps with jump drive. Wasp swarm taken as well. So the jump drive and the wasps. The jump drive and the swarm are all going to come at the level 3 tower over here. Also with a mobile beacon. There's a sentry missile down here. There's a sentry missile over here. Sentry missile would have just blown most of these guys out of the water. But he's... I mean... Reven would have to be... betting that there's no shield on these. Okay, now he's got it covered. If there was a shield, there's a second sentry missile over there. Also going hard on the side that he's already on with adding another fortress over there. No defense on this side. Skay getting it done? There is just no answer to the wasps. And that is going to be it for Reven. Unfortunate. So the 15 seed, the 16 seed, the 10 seed go down. We are down to just 3, and they were all part of the top 8 original seeds. We've been raided by an Ignatius Pennyfeather. Thank you very much, my friend. How was your stream? How was your day? We are in the middle of our tourney cast. For those of you from your audience who are new to it, we cast the European region tournament every weekend, every Saturday. When I am fully healthy, I usually run that stream all the way to Saturday night and play the Americas, or if I'm not feeling it, maybe cast the Americas. Ignatius Pennyfeather says 1-3, lost 3, up MMR on the day. Excellent. how are baby and mama? I mean, that's way more important than the record for the day. We still have one match ongoing somewhere, but we're not going to jump down to it. After watching a number of games with you, Netiru says, I gotta say, wasps look like the most annoying unit in the game. Yeah. But Mama and Baby are all right, I guess. Haha. But MMR though, that's where it's at. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Looks like Doxson will be in the spoiler role facing Uli. We'll have Skay against Math's Might in the next match. In fact, is that? Yes, it is. It is a rematch. Doxson against Uli, the rematch in round 6, with Math's Might against Skay on the other side of the bracket. Sure, we can. We'll step back. Camo Pillbox. I'm gonna run ads shortly, but I'll try to get your answer in first. So the mini tournaments have groups of 16. And I think there's a badge for each of the top 4 in it. I know it's at least, first runner-up, second runner-up. Don't remember if 4th place has a badge. The weekend tournaments are groups of up to 128. So if this had gone to 130 players, you'd have had 2 groups of 65. But instead, you've got one big group of 119. And for those, we know that Andy was wearing the 40th place badge. So we know they pay out to at least 40th with a badge of some sort. But the highlight badges, of course, are 1, 2, and 3 for those folks. And then there are special, let's see. There are special badges for the elite tournaments. Where are we? Special badges for, I guess, for top 10 on the weekends. Special badge for the elite tournaments where, I came 20th there. We were 8th here, so it was silverish, I guess, instead of bronze for 9th. And then the mini tournaments, mini tournament champion is nowhere near as impressive, especially because this was, it's not telling you what group I was in, right? And I was not in the advanced group 1. So those are the groups here. So this group, you can see we had 2 different groups. So 2 groups of about 90, it looks like, for this tournament. We'll come back into this. I'm going to run the ad real quick. We'll be right back with the next match. I hope that answered your question. Right. As we know, Uli against Doxson could create a 6-round tournament or a 7-round tournament here. And because of that, we are in the we'll be in the other match, the one that could be the championship here, which will be number 6 Skay versus number 5 Math's Might. Camo Pillbuck says, wait, thanks, it's just iffy. Sometimes only 30 people get medal. Now you saw a top 40. Even in the mini, I saw 50th place. I suspect that it's based on how many people were in that match. So Andy got that 40th place in a group that was the top, that had 119. So it could be as easy as possibly saying the top, uh, players in the top third. Right? So if it were so 16 to 5th for a mini tourney, and then 119 to 40th for Asia this week. All right. Welcome to what could be our final, what could be our semifinal. Of course, channel point predictions are up, and welcome back to those of you who sat through as. Appreciate that. FBI Open Up, who we think is Skay, near side in blue. And that's based both on the playstyle and the PFP. Very cool. I love that Skay is doing that in a way like, oh yeah, this is definitely me. Amantha's Might on the far side, your mini tournament European champion this week, trying to add weekend tournament glory to it. A Rhino specialist, Skay a giant specialist with a Tarantula Fang start. Amantha's Might Rhino with a Saber and Arclight start. Now, generally, you would say the Saber is heavily favored into the Tarantula on round 1. As long as you win the Chaff Clear War. As long as you've got, and he doesn't have a whole lot of chaff. That's why he's starting the crawlers at the very back. He wants to make sure those survive. Are these guys exactly 10 meters off the back line? I think they are. Interesting. I think they are. Okay. Waiting on Skay to decide what he's going to add for his buy. He takes the Marksman. So again, angling for that Marksman Vulcan build, it looks like. And for that to work, what we expect him to do is eventually sell out of the Tarantulas and Rapid Fire Cannon to throw down Vulcans to fund a quicker transition into Vulcans, especially as a giant specialist. Some people with might have waited on buying the Marksman on round 1 in order to try to give a chance of getting them as a bear-like gift on a drop. But Skay, no, he's just going to commit to getting them out there. He wants to get experience into them, even if it's not all the way leveling up. It's on its way. As we said, the Saber is favored on round 1 into those Tarantulas. Samantha's Might wins round 1. He's on 4,100 hit points. Skay down to 4,300. Here are your drops: Mustangs, Void Eyes, Wasps, and Hounds. Recognizing the build and knowing the player, right? Mathis Might immediately goes to the Wasps. Skay does as well. Now, Tyru did say, after watching a number of games with you, I gotta say Wasps look like the most annoying unit in the game. They are super weak, super easy to beat, and kind of like, what would I say? Like Reven was explaining maybe much earlier about a Carry Fang build. You don't wind up trying to overcompensate and beat the Wasps. You have to beat whatever is protecting them first. Mathis Might spent 50 to unlock a Stormcaller. Look at this. So we knew he was going to sell out of the Tarantulas, right? For FBI Open Up for Skay. And selling this Tarantula makes good sense because it just died to this Saber last turn. Why leave it out there to die to the Saber again? So he uses his Giant Specialist to go ahead and buy a Sandworm. I'm going to force you to play on this side. And if I win the round, I'm going to have a surviving Giant. And whatever your answer to that isn't going to be a great answer to my long-term build, right? Now, the downside that he's got is he's sort of sacrificed his Chaff Clear a bit. And as it turns out, loses the Wasp v Wasp. And Mathis Might is going to win this round. Or is he? He may not have enough. He does not have enough time. So Skate gets the damage from having a surviving sandworm. 350 points brings Math down to 3750. Skate down to 4230. Will it be a fully buffed girlfriend worm? Stay tuned, sports fans. It's true. We saw that earlier in the tournament with a player on level. What was it? It was healing. Oh wow, that was interesting. Math with a worm already on the board, switching to mass recruit mass-produced sandworms and just going to like spam them could have been an interesting line for Skay. Instead, he goes to a wasp swarm. Mathis might taking his time to think about it, so we'll take a look here. Hold on, it's shocking. It'll be we sold. Did I say we were gonna sell the little rapid fire cannon and buy Vulcans? Did we sell a rapid fire cannon, sell a tarantula, and buy a Vulcan? It's like it's so annoying. I can see what Skay is going to do to pilot this build. When I try to pilot this build, I do terribly with it. No, there's a difference there though, right? Skay has played this build literally 1,000 times. Yeah, Core FTW, we got 127,000k out of or 127,000 hit points off of it with the techs were armor and healing, the underground healing, and then two defense enhancements. So all the pluses. Mathis Might went ahead and leveled the wasps. Did not take the wasp call in, didn't tech his wasp either. But just kind of relying on them doing what they did last round. Go clean up. Skay's fangs are not going to get the job done there. And yeah, the wasps just cleaning up for Mathis Might. This time he's got a surviving Sabertooth, and that is able to take out the worm. So, 3880 for Skay, 3750 for Math. We go to round 4. Super Supply. Skay, insta-pick. Math taking his time. Acid Blast, Efficient Maintenance, Rhino Assault, Super Supply, the offer. He always takes his time and thinks them through, but I do think a round 4 Super Supply is pretty darn tasty. Skay has leveled his Sandworm and is now stopping to think about what the rest of the play is. Right? Rhino drop back here could have been interesting. It's going to be efficient light manufacturing for Math and an Overlord for FBI open up. Okay, so Skay is covering the Rhino drop with an Overlord. Decides to put it in the middle because that Rhino could have dropped either here or here. Very much playing around the Rhino. That's interesting. And Mathis Might. Also really fascinating, right? Super Supply is going to give you 150 supplies per round. The Efficient Light only gives you 150 supplies per round if you buy 3 non-giant units. So how is that the more economically efficient take between those two? I am fascinated. I can't wait to find out, because you know Mathis Might is cooking something. That's not a strict mistake. It's definitely a round win for him. And he's got Skay down to 2750 now. If Mathis Might get something like an additional deployment right now, which he does not, that is not great for him. Enhancement module and barrier, great techs for the giant player. Efficient tech research could be interesting for Math if he wants to just commit to econ here. Course got a point, right? You can use it the round you take it, versus the supplies only arrive now, right? So, sure, economically, where would we be at? Where if we took 3, I think he took 3 last round, right? So if Mathis Might took 3 units last round, and takes 3 more this round, which he has not done yet, he would have covered his costs where the super supply won't cover their costs till next turn. And he has the potential of it popping off if he gets the there it is. He's taken the mass recruitment, so he's going to make sure he gets his value out of this. And his value is going to be 2 more Stormcallers, but that might be the right build onto the Vulcan that he's expecting. It might be wrong into the Overlord with Overlord Artillery. Maybe he can just afford to be wrong. Really interesting. Really interesting. Overlord Artillery, good choice onto the Rhino. Also should work against the Steel Ball over here. The Wasps wind up taking down 1 Overlord. They wind up stuck on the worm for a while. They take down the other Overlord, and Mathis Might wins round 5. Skay down just over 1,000 hit points. 1,069. We get the unit reinforcement. Scorpion, Typhoon, Sledgehammer, Mustang offered. Skay takes the Stangs. I mean, he's got to answer the Wasps, right? So the fact that they've finally dropped and at level 2 is pretty much perfect for him. And he sells out of a Overlord. I didn't see if that Overlord had leveled and he was able to enhance it. Because we were still looking at this screen. If not, that's pretty painful to have the enhancement module just kind of sitting on the sideline. Two more Vulcans, range and ignite on the Vulcans, so Skay trying to get back into his Vulcan marksman now, despite having the Overlord artillery taken. Interesting. Also, okay, so Math took the range enhancement for the Mustangs. Oh, goes for fire on the ground with the Stormcallers. Doesn't overreact to the Overlords, just quietly picks up another Wasp. Took temp range, both of them took temp range here on round 6. Ignite burning down that Rhino pretty darn quickly. Ground in flames, but Fangs do a pretty good job of not quite walking into it and dying. We're still on the board. There's only a couple left. Now there are no Fangs left. There's nothing left that can shoot the Wasps. The question is, how many Stormcallers can Math keep alive? The answer is not enough to finish it. Skay down to 716. EMP blast, big underground threat, shield enhancement, shield airdrop even. The shield airdrop is good, right? Because it's more hit points than a regular shield, and it comes back. And he's going to use it to try to protect one of the Vulcans from the big drop. Goes ahead and uses his enhancement module here to get this guy up to level 2. Not selling it yet. He's taking his time to think about it. You know you've got the Rhino Assault coming. And Rhino Assault, if Math took armor on the Rhino Assault and Skay sold this guy, the Rhino back here could be really deadly. Math goes for the big boom from the electromagnetic blast, dropping it where it will hit both of those new shields. Oh, okay, fine. The shields survive. We'll also turn off the Overlord hex there. Skay sticking with the plan, but look at this, has actually sold one of the marksmen to fund range on his marks and a third tech here, best partner from the Vulcans. Both players dropping oil on a turn where the electromagnetic blast was up, so you kind of can imagine people were going to shield. And both those oils are going to land because they've kind of correctly gauged where these shields might be. Goodness. Math just about gets the positioning on that shield right to that the storms are firing from within it. Not quite, though. Not quite. What was the difference that turn? They stepped just far enough out that he wound up in the oil. And this time with the summoned marksman getting the job done for Skay, Math dropped down to 2,400 hit points. Skay at 700. Let's check in on the other match briefly. First, though, we've got the unit reinforcement. Void Eye, Scorpion, Tarantula, Fire Badger, your choices. Fascinating set of options. I really don't know what Math takes. Math takes the Scorpions. Makes his decision quicker than Skay does. Skay takes the Badgers. Let's take a look at this. Doxson has beaten Uli, gotten his revenge. That means this is your final. Winner of this match will be the champion. Uli knocked out by Doxson in the rematch. And that means we're going to be running a 6-round tournament instead of a 7-round tournament. Tournament ends when, as you know, tournament ends when when there is only one player left with zero losses. And that will be one of these two players. That's perfect count. Oh, go Doxson, go! Dog in chainmail to bestest. Scorpion with siege and acid attack, and 5 of them for Math. I just want the floor is lava build from Math is Might. This is an 800 MMR classic. Honestly, we light the ground on fire, we make the ground acid, the floor is lava, but then you're supposed to have air. You're supposed to pack it up with a whole bunch of air units. We haven't done that yet. Of course, the fire and the acid do work nicely together, creating a very quick burn. As you can see, the crawlers that got into just fire survived with some hit points. The crawlers that were in fire and acid, you know, that did not work out for them. And yeah, now this time with that much floor is lava happening, the wasps are getting pretty deep in. There's nothing left to handle the one surviving Overlord. Does it matter? Can it clean up? It's got 57 seconds to try and clean up. Math wins if he could have this group survive. It does not. Skay staying alive on the mobile beacon for that one Overlord that's leveled again. It's going to get another free level into it. It's his gold damage dealer. You might just leave it on the board. Electromagnetic impact for Math. Is this actually an advanced power system to try and get that guy out of the EMP blast? Would be fascinating. Or are we just selling it? Also, his incendiary bomb up for Mathis Might. So, it's going to have to be, for Skay, you would kind of imagine it had to be shield, 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 I think. And then a frontline crawler to ensure that the scorpions don't bring the shields down before the fire lands. Skay does take his level, sell his boat so that he's not vulnerable to it. Has gone. Wait, are we actually? We just used an enhancement module for the 50 free level up on a marksman. All right, the marksman now triple teched, by the way, with double shot and quick reload. 2 more Vulcans, so you're gonna have 5 more marksmen, and they come in at the level of the Vulcans, so these guys are bringing in level 2s. Mathis Might goes to you've never really answered my wasps, so I am gonna go to 5 packs of wasps now with range, and a mobile beacon here to ensure that they don't get turned off if needed, and to ensure that they are alive late to handle the Overlord if the Overlord had been mobile beaconed over here. Now that does change this engagement a bit, but I don't know, the Mustangs are dying in the fire. Maybe it doesn't change it very much, because previously those guys have been tanking shots from the marksman. Now they are not, so Skay may win the right. And with rapid reload on these marksmen, they actually will clear. They will not clear. I take it back. They do not clear the wasps. That is enough. Mathis Might is your European champion. Congratulations, Math. Let's go. Very nicely done. 2 evenly matched players there. I mean, these two were the OG 5 seed and 6 seed. They get all the way through the tournament. They're separated by just 8 MMR. And, Sparty knocked off the number 2 seed Lao. Number 1 seed Apuchi went down to Skay, who made it this far. Shadoff had an unlucky loss. He was the 3 seed. 4 seed ICAD, I believe, was beaten by, was that by Baller earlier? But leaves the 5 seed versus the 6 seed in the final. Scorps apparently getting the job done in EU tournament. Math is from 501, but he has played the EU tournament times suit him, right? So he adds a weekend tournament glory to a midweek mini tournament advanced group 1 title. Very nice. Very nice. Congratulations, Math. That does give you your final standings. HD Susauer, last zap with that Fang build, only loses to the number 8 seed Uli, and I think it was about the 18th seed AWM. Does very well to finish top 10. Edakar, Shadoff, props to sticking this out after what would have been a hard luck loss early. Sticks it out, grinds it out to a top 10 finish. AWM, Dorgon, Dachshund in 4th. Skay dropped from first to third, or from the finals to 3rd, in that last round. Uli loses the spoiler round to Dachshund and comes 2nd overall. Never gets to fight for the title. Mathis Might, your champion. Congratulations, Math. We will show you folks who finished out to about 40th or so. For those who are getting a badge, had a great round. We'll kind of spare the blushes of anybody who is further down than that. That is your European tourney complete. Congratulations again to our winners, Mathis Might, Uli, FBI Open Up, or Skay. Special shout outs to Dorgon for top 5 finish. Let's go. lost in round one, still places fifth by winning out from there with some big, some good wins. Merle's Tagalog to Bratwurst Play Archer at the end there. Nicely done. Congrats again, guys. Shout outs to Dorgon just for being awesome. Let's go. Phoenix Flight says, "Oh my god, I had single digit minor points somehow. How do you even get this far with single digit minor points? Oh, by losing twice early, so you're just collecting nothing from these folks. Ay, ay, ay. I see. All right, folks, 3 hours out to the Americas tournament. As you guys know, I am still working on recovery from COVID. It does mean that I fatigue pretty easily. I've fought with a flat tire earlier in the day, so that tired me out pretty well. I've got kiddo. I think I'm going to call it here rather than try to gut it out and give you guys a full length stream. Okay, so let me say my thank yous to folks. Would do always appreciate the moderators who are here. I know Zalex was around early. Have we had a? I don't think we've seen anybody else today. I know I did the only moderation that was done today. So there we go. Appreciate the oh we did get a raid from one of our mods from Ignatius Pennyfeather. There we go. VIP sponsors, Blue Feral with the wave is one of them. Blue shows up twice. Once VIP sponsored by gifts, once as a VIP sponsored by hardware. Without him, we would have no memory. Literally, like he bought the RAM. Other VIP sponsors include Anabolica, Mike Tyson, Fab4, Ocelotus Gaming, Just Nash XYZ, and of course Toast94. Also a shout out to Incarsis, who is top of the gifts table this month. Appreciate your support, my friend. He has a wager on that if I break 2,000 MMR this season, he will donate enough to jump right onto the VIP sponsor list. Hardware support also from, in addition to Blue and Ocelotus, Mr. John Thursday and Salt Monkey is Zach. Really appreciate you guys giving me the leg up at the very start of my career to move off of the terrible laptop and onto a PC that's capable of running Mechabellum nicely. We have said our thank yous. Appreciate you guys super much. Let me find a good home to raid you over to. Who would that be? It's probably a Poochie, let's be honest, but we'll take a look. We'll take a look if there's anybody else going. Dillo is also streaming Mecha right now. Ab4 is streaming some Wandering Village. Play Archer is streaming Mecha in Russian. Mumbo Jumbo is grinding Mumbo Bellum on the Mumbotron. I see. You know what? I never get to raid to Dillo. He says can't sleep stream. So let's send an audience over to Dillo. Send you guys the love. Appreciate you all being here. Thanks for watching. I got kiddo, so I'm not planning on streaming tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday to grind some ladder. Talk to you guys then.